I'm taking trailers of popular kids movies and recutting them to look like horror movies. In this video, we are starting with one of the most famous and successful franchises in the world, Frozen. And for the 4 people that haven't seen this movie yet, here's a quick plot summary. Frozen is about 2 princess sisters, Elsa and Anna. Elsa has ice powers, accidentally zaps Anna in the head as a kid, and the parents decide the best solution is just locking Elsa in a room for like 15 years. Great parenting. Anyways, Elsa becomes queen, immediately freaks out, and runs off to build an ice castle in the mountains. Anna chases after her with this random guy, his reindeer, and a talking snowman named Olaf. Okay, so now that we're all on the same page, let's make Frozen into a horror movie. First, I downloaded all the trailers I could find. The teaser trailer is basically just a solid minute of slapstick humor, the reindeer and Olaf fighting over his nose. While this type of sequence doesn't typically show up in horror films, I could still find a few shots of the snowman literally stabbing himself. In the original trailer, it's played for laughs, but I think with the right amount of horror music in the background, it could work as a genuinely scary moment. Now, the second trailer focuses on Elsa, which turned out to be really helpful because it features this very menacing narrator.
In Arendel's fair kingdom, a ruler did appear.
I assume they were going for an "is Elsa actually evil" and the villain of this movie narrative for the marketing. In the real movie, of course, it turned out to be completely wrong, but in our version, we are going to lean into that hard. The third and final trailer is back to the happy and funny vibe of the first one. However, it still has plenty of scenes that can be reworked into something scary. For example, at the end of the trailer, they make this joke.
I can't feel my legs! I can't feel my legs! Those are my legs. Oh, hey, do me a favor, grab my butt!
Which is a funny and mostly innocent little joke, if you actually plan on showing the second half of it. Which, spoiler, I don't. After importing all 3 trailers into my editing software, I gave each one its own color and started cutting out the scenes I thought would work in a horror movie context. I found quite a few shots from these chase scenes with wolves. Now, of course, in the actual film, they very politely pull on the main character's clothes, but in my version, I think a bit of blood could really change the vibe of this scene. After arranging everything in an order that made sense, I added an adjustment layer on top and color graded the entire thing. Which in this case really just meant making everything a lot darker. Now it's time for the fun part, adding the blood. First up, I found this scene of a random guard being pinned to the wall by icicles from Elsa. Now, because it's Disney, of course these icicles only hit the guard's clothing, but with a simple blood splatter, we can make it look like he's being impaled. I then tracked the blood splatter with the movement of his body and added a second layer on top to give it a bit more volume. The second scene was Anna hitting the wolf with this instrument thingy. I basically did the same thing as in the first scene, just tracked the blood along the wolf's face and adding a bit of motion blur. Now for this scene of the guy being basically ripped apart by wolves, I really wanted it to look like he was badly injured. So I keyframed this layer of blood across his face, added a blur, and then masked it out. The only thing left to do was the title screen. For this, I wanted to stay consistent and keep the blood theme going. So I found this very violent blood splatter across the screen effect. And honestly, perfect. After I was happy with the overall flow and look of the trailer, I started working on the sound design. Okay, I think it's a bit of a reach to call it sound design. All I did was add a splash sound effect every time blood appeared on screen. I also found a piece of music that fits both the scary, dark vibe and the more violent slasher energy I was going for in this trailer. And with that, I'm done. So let me present to you Frozen as a horror movie.
In Arendel's fair kingdom, a ruler did appear. Born with a secret power so great, alone she stayed in fear. Although the force was hidden, one day she let it go, and all the land was covered in eternal ice and snow.
Wolves!